Special thanks to the super cool and also Savannah Reed for drawing this thumbnail, which I then edited to make multiple variants. It's cool, she draws cool, just really epic and cool, and you should follow them right now. Anyway, let's get to the actual video.
I was wrong. Was I wrong? No. Yes. Yes. I was wrong. How could it be? I trusted in my guts, but ended up all nuts. Listened to my brain, but ended up insane. The melons rolled over that lady. I went too far. How could it be? How did I go too far?
So, that poorly made intro was due to the fact that I'm kind of ashamed to admit, but I feel like it must be done publicly. I was a defender of this game. I was hyped for it. I was the guy. I was the fucking devil's advocate for this game. And I think it was due to my inherent love of the looter shooter genre. Maybe it's my appreciation of the Suicide Squad and it's slowly sinking into being my top 5 superhero groups just ever. Maybe it was due to Rocksteady's reputation as a company that didn't miss, but I guess it doesn't really matter now because Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is dead. It's like super dead, super ultra omega dead. It didn't even have a historically epic death like fucking Fallout 76's on launch or Marvel's Avengers. It just sort of showed up with what it delivered. What it delivered was bad, limped out on the fucking track, crapped its pants right before crossing the finish line that it drew for itself. And the worst thing is, I still kind of like the game. Like, it's still fun. It's still a fun game to do stuff with. Jumping around and shooting things is fun. But then again, I got the game for fucking free. Getting this game for free is fucking epic. Hell, $20 is completely fine. But I feel immense shame for you if you ended up buying this pile of nonsense for a full retail price of $70. Hey, can we tell video game companies to stop doing this? Like, $10 isn't shit to them, but it's enough for us, the regular people. Like, God, that's so stupid. Oh yeah, the fucking game. Actually, hold on, before we start fucking talking about the game itself, I think we should talk about the move that not only shot this game in the foot, it made it rip its own leg off and concuss itself 2 days before the event even started.
As we speak, Officer Bowles.
Literally, not Gen Z literally, like objectively literally, this game would have had a net better reception if it was not set in the Arkhamverse of Batman games. If there was one thing I wish Rocksteady just fought tooth and nail for, it was this decision. Like, this game just should not have been in the Arkhamverse. Now, do not take this as the truth. We know nothing. I did my own research, and basically what it seems like the Rocksteady devs keep saying, we wanted to make this. It's fine. We wanted to make this, guys, as the revolver just nudges the back of their head. But here's how I think this entire scenario of this game's development went down. Warner Brothers were just like, we need a Fortnite, ignoring the fact that Multiverses was already on the table, but we need a Fortnite. So they looked at their developer, who primarily makes single-player narrative beat-em-ups, and told them to make a Fortnite. And Rocksteady were just like, I mean, we probably had a Suicide Squad plan, over there, I guess we can do it. And the two founders were straight up like, ha, fuck that, and then they dipped. And Rocksteady was like, hey, maybe we can just make this its own thing, its separate thing. And Warner Brothers like, but brand recognition, we got that brand recognition if you set it in the Arkhamverse. Come on, guys, come on. And they were like, I guess. And then that was just the nail in the coffin, man. What I'm saying is, this is just Anthem but better. Holy fuck, Warner Brothers fucking Anthem to Rocksteady. Jesus Christ. And I think you can tell that by just the game's overall design. Like, everything is cool in isolation, but when you look at it for too long, or, expand your scope as to how all the systems and stuff are working together, you can just see all the tears and the misguided efforts to mimic what other live service looter shooters have done. It's even more jarring when you realize, oh, all of these guys are talented. So, and like, especially in the writing section, if this wasn't a live service game and just a linear narrative game, all the characters probably would have had decent arcs and stuff. But no, they had to cram it all away in like the fucking logs, the logs. Okay, we're jumping ahead. Just, this game is uncanny. This game is just one big can of uncanny. I didn't write that line, I swear.
Dude, I could beat gaming.
Let's start with the one thing I could say that this game's saving grace from being abysmal dog shit. The overall gameplay, moment-to-moment gameplay, is really fucking great. And I think that comes down to the characters. The characters each play so differently, and it's really, really fun. Like Captain Boomerang, my de facto main, excels heavily in hit and run techniques thanks to his speed force. But then when you look at his skill tree, you wonder, like, wait, why the fuck does he have stuff for like sniping and stuff? But then you realize, wait a minute, instant teleportation for positioning is actually really good for a sniper character. And it's awesome, and he plays differently from my second favorite character, Joker, who floats around through the air, popping heads, and then smacking people down with his fucking melee, and then launching back up with a firework. It leads to a nice cycle. Sure, there's like some overlapping, like Deadshot and Lawless both have incredibly similar movement kits, but Deadshot's is faster overall, I think, so he could go much seamlessly between attacking and repositioning, whereas Lawless' slower movement is actually a bit better for, like, hunkering down. It's slowing things to a crawl for more precision with her sniping. It's great and cool. Combine that with the game's, like, massive fucking skill tree. Seriously, I thought I was gonna have to just pick one of the thing, like pick one of the trees and maybe move that, but no, you just you pick everything, so it's awesome. There's a really big amount of build potential. Hell, you can pick an element or just a supervillain in their notoriety weapon sets, and you can just make it work. So it's, neat. You can make a successful endgame build by just doing anything. That's cool. Borderlands 2? Alright, let's get negative. The guns in this game are, a twinge shit. A common complaint people have that this game is that all the guns shoot and feel the same, and they are right. Despite having 4 manufacturers, the Gotham City Police Department, LexCorp, Star Labs, Ameritech, and Intergang, that's 5. I don't know why I said 4. If you were to ask me what made any of these guns different, I would go like, Star Labs is burst fire, and then continue my ing. Compare this to Borderlands 2, which I don't think is unfair. Suicide Squad had 12 years to improve on the fucking formula of guns. Guns in Borderlands 2 did not just focus on pure stat differences, and that's it. They also had slight gimmicks that also went hand in hand with said stat bonuses. Like, Hyperion was incredibly accurate, but that's because it also went well with the reverse recoil that it had. And Tedior's fucking cheap design with fast reload made sense when you can chuck the gun and make it explode like fucking a can of soda that you threw at a musician you paid to see. How the fuck do people do that? Like, off the top of my head, LexCorp could have been a pure laser brand gun type that penetrate their targets. Star Labs could only go into burst when you aim down sights, sort of like Borderlands 2 doll guns. GCPD guns could start dealing burning damage, or maybe just more damage overall the longer you hold the fire button. And Ameritech could have underbarrels that shoot grenades, or have shotguns, or whatever else Borderlands 3 did. And since Intergang is, I guess, supposed to be like fucking alien technology, it can like refresh your cooldowns or whatever on a perfect reload. I could get into the nitty-gritty like the gun sound design or how most of them just look butt ugly visually, but I think you get the point. If you fuck up the loot in your looter-shooter, it's like forgetting to clean your hands before performing open heart surgery. Why? How do you do that? The guns do have uniqueness, but that's literally only for like the late game Notorious and Infamy items. Like, keep in mind, the game has legendaries, but once you get into the end game where you can get Infamous and Notorious gear, there's no reason to ever go back to using legendaries. The only time I did was because there was this one legendary that straight up was like, hey, critical hits deal fire damage, and that was really cool for my fire Captain Boomerang shotgun build that I had. And that's it. Any other legendary is just garbage and poop, and you shouldn't waste your time on them. So, characters good, guns bad. Let's see the enemies. Oh, fuck, the enemies. So there are 8 kinds of enemies in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. There are scavengers, evil melee men, grunts, evil gun men, snipers, evil all far away men, bombers, evil bomber men that are pretty big, and destroyers, evil health bar men who are big and explode after you take away one of their health bars, but you can shield harvest them to make them stop, unless you can't sometimes. Then there are tanks and helicopters. 10 if you count the Terminauts and Protonauts. They can't do damage to you, so I don't count them. I think they just upgrade enemies and revive dead ones, so like, don't care. That sounds like it's a lot, but no, it's not, especially when, like, the fact that there's only there's only 2 types of enemies that properly shoot guns at you, and one of them are so just non-existent. They're I've never died to just grunt enemies or scavenger enemies. I think I've only died to snipers and the fucking destroyer guys and the fucking helicopters. That's it. No other enemy in this game will pose an actual threat to you, and it's really dumb and lame. So, not good. But it doesn't get any better with the infusion types. So, they're infused with, the Justice League members. So, there are the Flash enemies that just run around and teleport all over the place, but you can still shoot them. Like, they say, I think if you counter them, they stop doing that, but if they stop running, then you can just shoot them. I don't really see the point. Then there are the Batman ones. They're the ones that don't have a counter, so you gotta use your intuition, even though every enemy in the game has an animation for when they're counterable also. And they also have their opacity cut down to 75. They also can't be suicide striked for some reason. They don't tell you that, and it can be really annoying when you have to deal a mission where it's just all of those kinds of enemies. And then we have the bane of my fucking grinding sessions, Green Lantern enemies. Green Lantern enemies are the epitome of Rocksteady's misunderstanding of what makes looter shooters fun to actually play. What is the one thing everybody hates in looter shooter games and like fights and stuff? Just raise your hand. Fucking invulnerability phases? Did you say that? You should have, because every single one is bad. But at least we all have the luxury of only dealing with them in boss fights, right? Green Lantern enemies can only be killed once you kill their dumb, stupid constructs that will more than likely spawn behind you or behind walls or whatever, and they can just bombard you and deal fucking damage. This sucks, and I hate it. It adds a massive fucking pace breaker in the middle of fights, especially when the Green Lantern enemies are mixed in with normal enemies, so you just throw a grenade, and then only like 3 people die, and it's just dumb and stupid, and I hate it. And, that's it. There's no Superman infusion. Literally just give them more health and flying capabilities, whatever. No, like, Brainiac enhanced elite infusions or whatever that, like, suicide explode when they're into lasers, when they have low health. And just, like, enemy types in general. Like, everybody's just a mutated humanoid or a big, broth, fucking massive mutated humanoid or a helicopter or a fucking tank. Or whatever a protonaut is. Just a little stupid crawling thing. Like, the fact that there's no other animals or mechanized beast units besides the planes and tanks, it's really lame. So it failed on quantity and quality. My god. Okay, what's next? Oh yeah, the elemental mechanics. So your melee and grenades can do elemental damage. You got fire, ice, electric, and bath salts. The elements are kind of cool since they actually have positives and negatives. Fire makes people freak out and stuff, and they take dot damage, but you can't shield harvest them. So that means if you're low on shield, then it's pretty bad to light people on fire. Ice is weird because it freezes enemies in place. And instead of doing extra melee damage, like what makes fucking sense, Shatter, you deal less melee damage to them and more gun damage. Weird. Electricity is good, you stun them, and they take guaranteed crits from every damage thing. The only flaw is that it gets the short end of the stick when it comes to builds and stuff. I think there is an actual downside, but I fucking forgot. I think it means I remember. They do more damage after they're done being stunned and stuff, but, And bath salts. It's actually venom, poison venom. It's the fucking Bane stuff. You hit baddies with it and they start bugging and attacking their own allies. The bad thing is that they get a bunch more health. This is actually pretty neat and cool. I like this elemental system and I kind of wish more games had it like this. It makes specializing in elements a bit more fun and, it makes it feel like maybe normal damage is actually pretty fine. Too bad this game doesn't go all the way with it, because, like, yeah, not being able to shield harvest was pretty bad for my fire Captain Boomerang shotgun build, but who needs that when you're killing everything in, like, 2 shots? Okay, general level design, like, it functions? Like, all the environments look alright, but the one flaw is that in high verticality movement games, like this, you don't really get to use the environment. I finally get to mention this game. You guys remember Sunset Overdrive? Yeah, that game was a huge movement game, but it also, besides just focusing on verticality, it also focused on speed and horizontal movement, so that means you were actually interacting with the environment. Suicide Squad has, nothing. You have your own character's movement things, but the only, like, level environmental thing you have is the enemies will throw up shields on walls that they're defending that most of the time your movement things can't go over and through, and you take damage if you touch them, so you're heavily incentivized to go around them to do stuff, but that's, like, it. No, like, wall, my fucking phone went off. But that's, like, it. No wall running, no fucking, the closest you're getting, I think, is wall bounces. Yeah, you can fucking bounce off the wall, and you can slide, and perfect jump, and whatever, but that's, like, it. No fucking rail grinding, it's just your character's movement ability, and that's it. Oh my god, I almost forgot to mention the crafting, the crafting, and material gatherings, and stupid. Honestly, I could just not mention them because crafting itself is fucking it's just a non-mechanic. You literally only use it probably during the story mode and craft like specific legendary gear if you really need it for your thing. But then once again, once you get into the end game where everything is that stuff, you just never use it because legendary gear is garbage. Now, eventually you do get the crafting recipes for fucking notorious items. I don't think you can craft infamy items, but you can get the crafting recipes for notorious items and then craft that if you really want that notorious item. But, like, odds are you'll probably just get the notorious item just by doing regular mission gameplay stuff. So, or just, getting up the mastery level, so I think it gives you the fucking items. So, that's that. Right. If anything, you'll spend most of your time either overhauling or, I forgot the name, what Toyman does. Basically, re-rolling item stats. You can re-roll because every gun you have has 3 specific things: a green rarity adding thing that's stupid and dumb, a blue item rarity thing that's not as stupid and dumb, and a purple one that's actually, good, what you want to have. And you can re-roll those. You can re-roll all 3 of them by overhauling your gun, but it could also end up fucking with the damage and stuff. Or you can go to Toyman and specifically re-roll the specific ones, but if you do that, it locks out the other 2, unless you elite the gear. And eliting the gear means you just fucking get access to all 3 things that you can re-roll without doing the stuff. But I say it's nothing because you will never fucking run out of materials if you're just playing the game. The only material you could possibly run out of is the very last one that I've never gotten above triple digits, and even then, you'll only run out of it if you're constantly fucking eliting and overhauling and all that shit for your gear. So it's just, like I said, nothing system, because, like, yeah, you interact with it, but it feels so passive. Like, but then again, I understand why they did it, because while this gameplay is good at its core, it's not good enough to just continuously go to re-roll items like in Borderlands. It's not. Oh my god. Fuck. General missions for, like, gameplay missions, because, like, yeah, moment-to-moment stuff is good, but what about, being on the grind? Because I'm gonna keep it real with you, this game is, like, 80% endgame. Like, after you finish the story, it's like, alright, get on that endgame grind, fool. Well, I mean, every mission revolves basically around you going to a place to kill a bunch of guys, but since, like I said, the general level design is kind of boring, it can kind of grow stale after a bit. Like I said, the moment-to-moment's fine, but then you look at the macro and realize, oh man, in order to get this gun that I want, I have to just repeat the same mission of going to fucking Brainiac Earth and killing 125 guys and then leave, and then that's it. Like, that's it. And even then, the game has better, cooler missions. Like in the story, there's, like, escort missions that are pretty dumb and boring, but at least they're, like, actually something. You have to deal with the overworld enemies and the set enemies when you do that. But it's just, Like, if it's not just kill a certain amount of enemies or kill a certain amount of enemies in a certain way, it's fucking kill enemies and then go and grab a thing, which is normally just people. Just go and grab these people that we're saving from Brainiac's death hands or whatever. And it's just, that's it. That's all the missions in the game. Just, you're doing the same shit over and over. It's like Borderlands, but you never leave fucking, what the fuck is the name of the starting area? Hold on, I gotta look it up. I found it. It's like playing Borderlands 2, but you never, like, properly leave Windshear Waste, and all the missions are just, hey, go to somewhere else in Windshear Waste and kill a bunch of enemies in a fucking saloon or whatever. It's just lame. And, fuck it, man, I can't keep delaying it anymore. Let's talk about the...
Don't you love a happy ending?
It's bad. Okay, the actual fucking story. Bro, do you even care? The game doesn't care. Like, this is just a game about nothing. The squad gets released, gets given the task to murder the Justice League, then they do after getting all the tools they need from all the fucking side characters like Penguin, Hack, Toyman, and then, like they get a Speed Force Disruptor to kill Flash, Yellow Lantern tech for Green Lantern, Yellow Kryptonite for Superman, and then just straight up saying no you to Batman's fear toxin thing, and they shoot him because he's just a guy. Like, and then Wonder Woman was there, and then she's like, I'll save them, and then the squad goes, kill them, and then she goes, no, fuck you, and then she dies. And then you kill Brainiac, and then, whoa mama, there's 12 more Brainiacs, now do the same fucking thing. Except now, sometimes you save the Justice League members that they have in stasis, because these are all clones, actually. For some reason, the squad doesn't know that, but maybe Amanda Waller and the other Justice League did. I don't fucking care. Visit all the other Earths that I guess all the League of Brainiacs or whatever did. And then grab other people who were there, like the Junkler and Mrs. Freeze and Lawless and Deathstroke, even though Lawless is actually from this world, so I don't really know how Brainiac got her. And then, surprise, surprise, you get the worst ending in video game history, because you did actually kill the Justice League, they were all clones, actually, gotcha, we tricked you. And then literally everything gets wrapped up in a neat little bow. The Justice League decide to dedicate their time to freeing all the Earths before going back to all the other stuff, to unfuck all the worlds. Amanda Waller gets blackmailed into not chasing the Suicide Squad because, surprise, surprise, they fucking got their bombs out of their heads, and then they just dip. But she gets blackmailed by Lois Lane and stuff, but she gets to have Brainiac there and be like, yo, yeah, you're the one who did it, because she gets all the glory. And then the squad are like, oh, let's just travel the multiverse doing fucking hero shit. And then none of the DLC characters get mentioned besides Lawless. So we never know what they end up doing with a Joker that is probably just as evil as the Arkhamverse Joker. We never know if Freeze got their Nor fix, and we don't even know if Deathstroke is Deathstroking it anymore. It's just, all we have is a dead Wonder Woman, and maybe a partially dead Bat family, and then nothing. It's stupid. I hate it. Let's actually talk about something. Fuck. That something is the characters, because I already talked on it gameplay-wise, but it's time to talk about them narratively. If there was anything to fucking talk about, because holy fuck, the only thing that resembles character arcs are an optional audio logs. They made the people who wrote a top-tier Batman story and made them write cool characters and then shoved it all in the audio logs. They gave us nothing. They gave us nothing to replace that missing substance. Okay, I'll give a brief synopsis of every squad member and then rank them after in how not shit they are, from not shit to turbo shit. Let's start with the base squad. So Harley Quinn is the de facto leader of this Task Force X, I guess. The game never really decided on that. She does seem to be the heart and the bonding glue that stops the other three from killing each other, though. Deadshot, the other de facto leader, I guess. He's the only one here who isn't insane, kind of, and he has a daughter. Next. Captain Boomerang, the comic relief. Incredibly dense, but he has just enough useful know-how to be an actual valued member, who's pretty cool. And King Shark, easily the least evil out of the four. Like, yeah, he probably ate some people, but he's a fucking shark. What excuse do the rest of you have? He also has daddy issues, so that's pretty funny. And then the DLC goes as follows. Joker, a young jongleur who apparently killed his last Suicide Squad for vague reasons. Apparently to save them or whatever. But haha, mystery, whatever. Mrs. Freeze, gender-bent Elseworlds variant of Mr. Freeze, surprise, surprise. Their origins are seemingly similar, except she was more focused on saving the environment, so she did a bunch of corporate espionage and heists and shit, but she still cares about her wife, because wife and stuff. She's a total nerd dweeb who's also jacked, because that's pretty fun. Lawless, the most Suicide Squad entry in this game, because nobody knew who the fuck Lawless was at all. But, she's a gamer, streamer, revolutionary. And also Deadshot's daughter. Yeah. And lastly, Deathstroke, who is the cool one. So cool that he killed 2 other Brainiacs by himself. Stop looking at the scrap content. Stop looking. Okay, best to worst time. Captain Boomerang, the comic relief saves the day. Cap is the only character I can listen to and maybe feel something that vaguely resembles joy. Maybe it's just the accent. I am an American who finds other accents to be hilarious. I also believe Boomer is just an overall perfect representation of a Suicide Squad member. He's a C-tier Flash villain. I don't know how much more relevant you can get at that point. Deathstroke. He's pretty cool, and I think honestly he benefits for not being in the game at all. Mrs. Freeze. I think we should all value dork charm more. Anyway, Mrs. Freeze is cool. No pun intended. King Shark. He's completely okay, and I appreciate that this King Shark in this game is not a huge fucking brainlet, just socially inept in forms of human communication. A literal fish out of water. Hell, I think he's smarter than Boomerang in this game. Also, Samoa Joe is giving a very amazing performance.
I ain't asking for permission, I came!
A Joker. On the surface, this Joker is a fine Joker, but sadly he just lacks anything that makes a Joker interesting to me. Like, no relationship with Batman. I don't think he ever mentions Batman, I think, in any of the stuff, because I'm not going out of the way to listen to all the fucking logs in the game. No chaos thrown towards the innocent, just nothing. We don't know, like, anything. We don't know the kind of shit this guy did, and whatever. In short, we got a Joker with nothing. Nothing? He has a missing leg, though. We all know why this Deadshot sucks, but let me drop just the dumb lore explaining it, because I feel like not a lot of people know at all. So, here you go. So, the Deadshot that we all knew from the Arkhamverse, I'm going to just call him Arkham Deadshot, and then I'm going to call this game's version Suicide Squad Deadshot. So, Arkhamverse Deadshot was actually from Earth 2, the Earth 2 from this game, where Lex 2 is from. Apparently, that Lex Luthor, Lex 2, was fucking doing shit to try and explore the multiverse, and he accidentally sent Deadshot there, and Deadshot had the Arkhamverse Deadshot had no knowledge that he has been transported to a different world, because I guess he also had a daughter, but he was like fully distant from her, so he never fucking did anything to try and contact her. So I guess for the long ass time, because assuming that these 2 Deadshots have their fight encountered like, I don't know, a month or so after Arkham Knight or whatever, that means like 10 years from Origins to fucking the end of Arkham Knight. That nigga just never noticed anything different from his world. I guess the literal only thing that was different between Earth 1 and Earth 2 was that Deadshot was a white guy. Like, it's so crazy. They even have the exact same DNA, so like, why? Why? So the real reason why Suicide Squad Deadshot had to kill Arkham Deadshot wasn't that he was like messing up his reputation, is that fucking him doing other Deadshot shit fucking traced it back to him, and they was getting his life all fucked because he retired. He's retired at this point. So don't ask how old Suicide Squad Deadshot is if he's fucking retiring at his age already, enough to be a refutable hitman that is feared by a lot of people, but whatever. And apparently in their fucking firefight, they killed a bunch of people, and Green Lantern, that's why Green Lantern had to step in. They killed so many people that the fucking space cop had to show up and stop 2 normal dudes from having a fucking gunfight. And then they took him to Arkham Asylum for some reason, even though he's not insane. He should have gone to Blackgate, but whatever, fuck it. And that also explains why he has beef with Green Lantern in this game. Now, this story, like the little thing that they told, doesn't have any holes in it. Hell, they even made Suicide Squad's Deadshot's mask completely cover his face, so nobody would even know that he's a black man under there, black or white, because Arkhamverse Deadshot had like bits of his face visible and stuff. But this is literally the most unnecessary writing obstacle they could have made for themselves. Like, dude, you could have just imprinted the Deadshot story that we're all come accustomed to onto the Arkham one and nobody would have cared. And if you were going to make this huge Earth 2 fucking Deadshot revelation thing, that should have been a main story thing. Apparently this is almost exclusively found in codex entries and shit. And it's only mentioned in the main story in the beginning where Captain Boomerang's like, oh, isn't Deadshot supposed to be white? Like, that's it. That's the only time it gets mentioned. Nobody cares. Like, what the fuck? Harley Quinn. Okay, time for another long one. So, in my nerd brain, there's like two major ways to tell a Harley Quinn story. Harley A, the one that's actually a decent human being who like cared and wasn't evil, but the Joker just wriggled his disgusting little jonkler hands into her brain and then made her do bad shit, like horrible, fucking awful, abysmal things. But then after the Joker dies or betrays her too severely, she spends a decent amount of time in solitude, realizing that while she can't fully undo the damage she's done to her own mind and the several innocent lives that she's ruined, she can, like, at the very least, try, especially after looking up to heroes who bested her on numerous occasions. Redemption Harley Quinn. Or Harley Quinn B, the one that was almost always a sociopath. The Joker just gave her the push that she needed to lash out properly onto others for his own misdeeds. Still fiercely devoted to the Joker, even in death, she'll still commit atrocities in his name. The problem arises that Harley Quinn in the Arkhamverse was a Type B Harley, but they're trying to give her a Type A ending. Like, this is a Harley who showed signs of, like, maybe defiance. She made her own calls at some things, but was still fiercely loyal. And when the Joker died, she was ready to fucking just light Gotham on fucking fire, dude. And she had, like, no remorse with it either. So, and I get it, 5 years in solitary confinement in Arkham Asylum could probably give her enough time of introspection, but why would you skip the most important part of a Harley Quinn arc just to give us the girl boss? You can't skip to the girl boss. We need to see the girl failure before we go to the girl boss. Without seeing the girl improver, the girl boss doesn't work. Also, Tara Strong's performance in this game is just not that good. I think it's just because Margot Robbie just needs to become the basis for every Suicide Squad Harley Quinn ever now. So her performance is trying to rip really hard on that, but it just doesn't work. And I don't think I need to go into the mountain of wasted potential that was just lost by having Harley Quinn interact with a different Joker. Once again, the most they have are like codex entries where they're like talking, like, yeah, my Joker's pretty fucked up, and then Joker's like, well, I'm not your Joker, blah, 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 blah. And but then even then, just boring. You made it boring. But you know what beats really poor character writing? Really annoying character writing. Lawless. Just outright objective cringe, man. It's just so bad. Like, I don't even know how else to say it. Lawless is the literal poster child for millennial writing for a young person, a young black woman. This was a 45-year-old man writing a fucking young black woman, and it hurts. And it adds bonus agony because she's an influencer. That means you get influencer speak. While she's blowing off the heads of aliens, she'll be like, don't forget to like and subscribe. Fucking peeling off my skin. This really fucking sucks because, one, she's Deadshot's daughter. There was obviously a really fun dynamic that we at least get to see. This was easily the most seen dynamic we've had. Like, a whole cutscene was dedicated to Lawless being like, hey dad, I'm not 13 anymore. Let me help kill these aliens. And I also like that everybody else around the HQ treats her, like an actual decent person because she's not a supervillain. Kind of wish they went above and beyond because out in the overworld, Rick Flag and fucking Aaron Cash still shit talk her like she is a villain. Like, oh, you fucking stupid villain. Kill yourself. When will people just stop making influencer characters in games? I don't think I've ever seen a single influencer character just done right. They're always super annoying. Yeah, it's just fucking... The only good thing that she has is her friendship with Hack because, hey, that actually seems like a natural human thing. Two really smart people being really smart together and appreciating themselves because, smart. Alright, okay, I think that's enough with the characters and writing stuff. Let's just end this shit before I burn a hole into my forehead by thinking about how bad this is for too long. Let's just get to the miscellaneous stuff now, dog, please. Anyone who says that this game, like, looks bad is genuinely just grasping for straws to hate this game. Like, yeah, man, Arkham Knight looked better, but to say that this game doesn't look anything short of fucking awesome is mind-baffling. The only thing that sucks, like, graphically about it is just the particle effects they flow everywhere. Like all the weird shit flying off your character. Like, what is that? Congratulations, Apex Legends, you no longer have the worst battle pass of all time. Holy shit, I would have been so pissed if I was following this game from release and every battle pass just gave us more and more garbage. Like, I mean no hyperbole when I say every single skin in every single battle pass is awful. There's only one skin I think of that wasn't abysmal dog shit, and that's like the Wayne Tech Deadshot skin. And even then, it's just gaudy as fuck. Everything looks like it was drawn by a toddler who found his dad's bottle of Hennessy and went to town in his coloring book. Like, how did any of these get approved? Oh, because all the good skins went to the shop. Just buy your skins at the shop. Oh my god. By the higher mastery levels, which is just difficulty modifiers, the fucking environmental hazards will have more of a negative effect on you than your enemies. No joke, the frozen effect is the worst thing in the game because you simply cannot escape it if you're over. It's literally just it's basically just a dodge fucking movement ability check. Like, oh, you're gonna get hit or you're going to instantly lose because you fell off the map, nigga. Your AI teammates are straight desert doo-doo because they just sort of stand there, dick and balls / clitoris in hand. Like, I'd assume the purpose of saving a bunch of loadouts would be for them to be really powerful when you use it, but no, I think they have like a damage reduction slapped onto them or whatever. And like, sometimes maybe they'll use their traversal attack or suicide strike, but that's it. Genuinely, the amount of times where I'll be shooting something, fighting for my life, and I'll turn the corner and see Deadshot's ass just standing still right behind me, and fucking why? Trying to play this game with my friend via crossplay was so bad it wiped his save data because Warner Brothers is abysmal fucking. I can't. Nope. Not yet. Oh, okay, positive thing. The side cast is really fun, especially Toyman, and it's he's cool. Pretty neat way. And a hot take, I'm actually fine with how they did Poison Ivy in this game. Like, yeah, it makes sense that a fucking plant would have to grow from being a child or whatever. And plus, she's just not harmful. I mean, yeah, she can be cringe at times, but like, she's like 6. I don't care. Also, I promise you that I'm not cherry picking. Like, if you see some weird shit going on in this background footage, I didn't do that. Like, when I played this game normally without recording, it was fine. It wasn't fucking completely bugless, but holy shit, there were so many fucking bugs while I was recording. The tanks spawning upside down more consistently, Lutenauts just not showing up, Green Lantern constructs not spawning at all. My game even crashed 3 times in comparison to my regular playthroughs like once, so I guess your bug mileage may vary depending on what you want to do with this game. This isn't really the game's fault, but I find it incredibly funny that nobody's ever made a skill calculator website for this game at all. Fucking Battleborn had a build maker, but this game doesn't. Also, this game has a high five emote, and I really wish there were more co-op emotes like this. Like, I feel like we should just have more co-op emotes just in games in general. Marvel Rivals, let me high five people. You know, if this video didn't take 11 billion years to make, I would have saved this for its own separate video, but fuck it. Here are 2 different ways to make the Suicide Squad game work. One Arkham way, and one not fucking Arkham way. The Arkham way is, surprise surprise, focused on Batman, to give him a better send-off than being fucking executed on a park bench as bait for Superman. Spoilers. Have your Suicide Squad be Harley Quinn, still actively grieving over the Joker, but because of that she has a vicious, mean streak. Deathstroke, similar to how he's presented in this game, old, looking for purpose after Batman handed his ass to him, but he kind of respects him for that, and especially after seeing how capable he is. Deadshot, because of course he would be sort of comic relief because Deathstroke is just him but better. Also, this would be, the white Deadshot, the one that we've had already, because, you know, it just doesn't make sense to just write a whole new thing, to have a whole new character just for the Earth 2 and the fucking... And then lastly would be Red Hood, because I'm 90% sure he, like, survived and started doing Red Hood shit after Arkham Knight. I don't fucking remember. I'm pretty sure there's a whole DLC about it. Like I said, don't remember, don't care. He could be a shoo-in, and naturally he just butt heads with the rest of the crew, seeing their occupation. But now they're all stuck, bombs in their head, and they are the Suicide Squad. And yet, having Deadshot, Deathstroke, and Red Hood in one group probably feel very samey, but that's the point. The Suicide Squad are supposed to be expendable fucking nerds. Having 3 of them just be guy who's good with gun is, you know, it works. And then swap Wonder Woman's role with Batman. So Wonder Woman would still be mind-fucked, but Batman would be the one who's trying to actively, you know, save them and stuff. Also, in this fucking version, Batman's not an open member of the Justice League. Have him be like a behind-the-scenes, like, financer, because he knows that those guys are doing good shit, and the world needs a great amount of protectors, but, you know, he faked his fucking death in Arkham Knight, and he's letting this demon bat persona that he probably made for himself take over. Just replace his Justice League spot with, like, Aquaman or something. Like, seriously, it's really funny that, like, canonically, I guess, Batman faked his death, did the whole demon bat thing, and then just shrugged and be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just join the Justice League and everyone knows that I'm Bruce Wayne and fucking dumb, whatever. Anyway, have him actively butt heads with members of the Suicide Squad and Amanda Waller because, you know, he's like, I'm gonna save them and stuff. Have him subtly hint that he has the contingencies at first, but then he catches glimpses of actual heroism in all of the squad members, mostly being bolstered by Red Hood, and then when he eventually gives his life to save a bunch of other people, maybe even the squad themselves, he dies like holding back a giant-ass fucking Brainiac tentacle or something. He passes that off and basically goes, listen, you guys can save them. You guys aren't the heroes that anybody expected, but you're there, and then he fucking dies horribly, and it actually, you know, fucking feels weighty, because, you know, it's a group of 4 people who actually gave a shit, and not just Harley Quinn, who has the audacity to rant at Batman about the negative impact he had on Gotham. Nigga, you blew people up for fun. Anyways, while they have the contingencies, but Amanda Waller goes, fuck that shit, and then he still kills them all. But plot twist, they were all clones, and the originals are being held captive in Elseworlds. So then the squad's like, hey, listen, we use these contingencies that Batman had to save the original members, but we kill all the clones. Is that cool? And she goes, sure. Also, one of the Brainiac Elseworld variants took the corpse of this universe's Batman for studying, studying psych purposes. I don't fucking know, man. Just have it work. Instead of 12 fucking Brainiacs, it's just 6. 1 guarding each Justice League member and Batman's corpse. Each Elseworld character also does tie into Batman. Some of them do, some of them are a bit loose, and I gotta fucking stretch to make it work. But, don't care. Let's just go with this. Chapter 1 would be Mrs. Freeze while you save the Flash and the whole world's covered in ice and shit. If it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it. But how about you make it so that in this one, the Flash actually escaped temporarily, so the Brainiac's like, oh, let's just cover everything in ice so the Flash can't move around. So then the Flash fucks up and then he gets himself Captain America. So now it's basically Mrs. Freeze was just hunting for the Flash because he's like, well, maybe he can help everything. Also, I don't know how they would make the relationship to Batman work, but just say, oh, yeah, there was a Batman here, got clonified. We didn't really agree with a bunch of stuff, but I wouldn't say I hated him. And then she joins the squad. Chapter 2, the character for this one, Katana, League member, Wonder Woman. And the world theme will just be the medieval one that Deathstroke had, because it was pretty cool. So, like, instead of this world, it's not an actual world in medieval times, the Brainiac just styled it to look like all of that. And then Katana would have been like, maybe Katana could have filled like some Azrael role where she looked up to this world's Batman and shit. Don't know if that's a common thing in the comics. Don't care. Why would she use guns though? I don't know. Ask Rocksteady. She was fucking planned character. Chapter 3. New character, Killer Croc. This time you will be saving Green Lantern in a huge jungle-themed Earth. I 100% added this exclusively because I fucking love the idea of a slightly humanoid Killer Croc, and he's fitted up in a suit and he has a strong-ass New Orleans accent. sounds awesome, and I need that to happen immediately. Maybe have this Killer Croc be thankful for this, like, that world's Batman actually, like, regressed and halted his fucking berserker croc gene, whatever the fuck makes him a crocodile. I don't know. But he halted that, so now he's still human, and because of that, he promised to give up being a gangster, but he kept being a mercenary or whatever, and then he died, so, because Brainiac shit's going down, so he joins the squad, because fuck it. Chapter 4, Catman. League member you're saving, Aquaman, and the world theme is Atlantis. I was originally going to just make this a dude version of Catwoman, but after doing the picosecond of research, I realized that Catman is an actual DC character. So, and I thought it was so funny that now that version is just getting added. Have him be someone who is actually just super jealous of the concept of Batman. So in his world, when Batman, some of these Elseworlds have Batman who died prior to this happening. So that world's Batman dies, and then he just becomes it as Catman, but he sucks and is not that good at it, so he just uses guns instead of actual gadgets and stuff. Sorry for the boring theme though. Sorry, Aquaman's just I couldn't think of anything, so enjoy Atlantis, nigga. Now, Chapter 5 is actually something special-ish. Chapter 5 is the Batman corpse retrieval episode, and it takes place in a shattered Gotham, so, like, it's sort of like what we have in the game now, except it isn't a pain in the ass to traverse and get back and forth to each place for some reason. But the character introduced in this game is the Joker, but I wanted to do something different. Instead of just having a generic, super ultra chaos loving Joker that we don't know anything about or whatever, this one is actually going to be based off of Telltale's John Doe Joker, a very underrated Joker. If you're gonna have a young Joker, I feel like having him have some sort of misguided sense of justice inspired by seeing Batman fight crime would be cool. And and once he died, he had a lot of fucking anger, resentment, and shit, and he lashed out on basically anybody who he perceived as bad, especially, including his universe's Amanda Waller, and in turn of that, he meant he had to kill his whole squad because of that. But he's super chill now, he's like, I promise I won't kill you guys now, unless you're bad, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, cool. And then the last character for the fucking retrieval thing, it's going to be sort of an inverse. You save Superman, and the world theme, I just thought it would be cool to have a retro Metropolis theme. That would be neat. But instead of a Joker who's trying to do good, it's a Batman who's still doing good in a bad way, because the last character will just be the Batman who laughs. Since, I thought it'd be cool. What better way to focus this Arkham-focused Batman game than to show the bad ending of Arkham Knight, basically, where Batman succumbs and becomes one with the Joker. Fucking crazy, murders everybody, murdered his own fucking Bat family people. Fucked up, but I think it would be a cool way to end it. And then, like, the last chapter where everybody works together and kills Brainiac, and then the actual endings will be the base 4 just go back to their world. They do the same thing. Like the problem with the original ending of this game, Suicide Squad, just feels so unearned and rushed to shit. So this version, there would actually be like bits and pieces of, gathering all the Argus files to send to Lois Lane so they could get all their shit freed and all that, whatever. So yeah, the 4 members just go back to doing what they do. Red Hood renounces murder and and maybe even forms the Gotham Knights or whatever. Harley Quinn is even offered a position, but she goes, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Deathstroke's like, nigga, I'm old. And Deadshot just goes, fine, I'll raise my daughter, I guess. Then the multiverse characters, Mrs. Freeze actually does get the cure to save their Nora, so they go back into the world that's currently getting unfucked or whatever by the League members. The League members will also still be doing their stuff before they go back to doing normal Justice League stuff. But Batman's still dead. So, and then, it works. Everything about the fucking original game would have worked if it just wasn't rushed to shit and actually had, development with it and arcs and stuff. So yeah, that would be Mrs. Freeze ending. Just going back and be like, I could finally go back to everything being normal. Katana just continues what she was doing in her world. Maybe she could join the base first. Don't know. Who knows? Killer Croc goes, you know what, maybe being a hero is actually pretty cool, and Catman actually learns how to be a hero, so he stops murdering people. They hesitate on letting the Joker back, but they like to imagine that they left him in a better mental position to actually try and be a hero, and the Batman Who Laughs actually just willingly detonates his own head because he, like, his last conscious action after being around so many people reminding him as to who he is as Batman or whatever. Yeah, boom, that's the Arkhamverse version. Now let's get to the much cooler and epic non-Arkhamverse version. And now this non-Arkhamverse version actually does have just a huge difference, but I think it would have been much better to actually have. Instead of a Brainiac-controlled Justice League, it's the Suicide Squad versus a Brainiac-boosted crime syndicate. Allow me to elaborate. So basically, the setup premise is that this Earth was just living peacefully. Hell, their Brainiac was long defeated by this universe's Justice League. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and the Flash. Just the basic 5. However, he came back with a vengeance with the help of Earth 2's Brainiac and his boosted up crime syndicate. So Earth 2 did not have a Justice League. It had, the crime syndicate, the evil Justice League, consisting of Ultraman, Superwoman, Power Ring, Owlman, and Johnny Quick. And then that world's Brainiac was like, hey guys, I can give you a bunch of cool, awesome, just do crazy power and give you guys your own universes to control, as long as you help me and give me your power. And since they're all a bunch of dumb, stupid idiots who just like power and money and conquest and shit, they go, yes, we will do that, yes. And then they Brainiac themselves. So yeah, with this sudden ambush from another world, and the comically enhanced power that the Brainiac boost gives them, this crime syndicate and Brainiac just fucking bulldoze and blitz through this world's Justice League, with the exception of Wonder Woman. Don't worry, I'll explain later. I'll throw Rocksteady a bone and keep the 4 squad members the same in this game, but I will, augment some of their stuff a little bit. This world's Joker is also super dead, so Harley Quinn is still at the end time of mourning. She's at her realization part of, the Harley Quinn arc we talked about. So, that will be cool to watch and see. Deadshot would marginally be the same, maybe make him not like a bad father though. Have him still be retired, but he got framed by another villain, maybe Deathstroke or something, whatever. He tried to plead his case to the Justice League, but the only person who really believed him was Batman, and he couldn't prove that he was innocent before the crime syndicate fucking steamrolled all of them. Captain Boomerang is already good, just have his insecurities be brought forefront and make it into an arc for people to see and listen to and not fucking background in logs. And for King Shark, just lean more into him actually not really being a bad guy, just being a literal fish out of water. Woo. I would have the game go relatively similar as how it goes in the base game. Learn the weaknesses of each crime syndicate member, and then figure out how to cram it into a gun to shoot them. The only person I would really see having a more detailed fucking strategy to go about taking them down is Superwoman, because, she's a bit more, fucking Black Widow-y, sinister-y, fucking, she wriggles in the heads of all the other fucking crime syndicate members because, fucking evil. Meanwhile, we blip to Earth 2 to grab Lex 2 and maybe even get some recon on Earth 2's Brainiac. And then you find Earth 1's Wonder Woman, and while your goals align and go, yeah, we need to kill these guys right fucking now, she refuses to work with Amanda Waller for, obvious reasons that this world's Batman warned her about. And she actually acknowledges your guys' efforts, especially in taking down Brainiac's forces, because just for a bunch of nerds with stolen tech and fancy guns, you guys are doing pretty well. Then Amanda Waller gets Wonder Woman killed because, Amanda Waller's a bitch, and then that's what makes the squad go, I don't think I'm that evil to, fucking curb stomp one of humanity's helps to push back this evil, so that sets that up. Then, surprise plot twist, Brainiac 2 kills Brainiac 1 to absorb all of his mind data bullshit that Amanda Waller was trying to get. You kill the crime syndicate, and then you kill Brainiac 2, and then you realize there are 4 more Brainiacs, part of his master plan to take over a huge fucking section of the Elseworld multiverse with him and his gigantic amassed clone army of crime syndicate members, because he openly says these guys are nothing but expendable fucking slaves to me and I do not care, they're just giant meat walls. And this is overheard by like a variant, one of the multiple Earth variants of Johnny Quick, who ends up becoming a good guy over the game's expansion packs to help the squad. Alright, let's get to those expansions. Chapter 1, Earth 3. The new member you get is Peacemaker. Earth 3's Brainiac decided to experiment with modified fear toxin, turning everything into like a horror-esque graveyard. This world's Peacemaker is immune because he is literally fearless. I thought that would be funny. Chapter 2, Earth 4, new member Talia al Ghul. This one's gimmick is that Brainiac 4 decided to expand his own roster by basically merging what he could find when he found the League of Assassins and just slamming it together, making them just disgusting organic robot creatures. And so, you have new enemies to fight in this one. Talia is naturally against this abomination of what the fuck happened to her Assassin's Guild. Also, she realized that he killed multiple Batman that she could have breeded with. This is also when we first see that this Johnny Quick is trying to defect, and he reveals that he was the first ever clone to actually be made. So also Earth 4's environmental gimmick would probably also just end up being medieval. I just like medieval shit. I don't know, man. Then we move on to Chapter 3, Earth 5. New member, Brainiac 5. Brainiac 5 was actually not fucking evil and insane and went against this whole evil multiverse conquering plan. Unfortunately, he was overwhelmed by the multitude of crime syndicates thrown at him by Brainiac 6, keeping him imprisoned in Speed Force stasis. He's broken out and freed by a combined Speed Force effort of Captain Boomerang and Johnny Quick. After linking up with the Suicide Squad, he says that he'll keep his cover intact until he's able to get a lot more information on Brainiac X, and he tells them he's been integrating all these Brainiacs to becoming more and more strong, like Brainiacs 8 and 9. Also, the world is sort of like splintered because it's Earth 5 merging with Earth 6, so the gimmick could just be like fractured space bullshit that's like still under construction. Chapter 4, Earth 7, because, Earth 5 and 6 were merged into one, basically. New member, Riddler from the Arkhamverse. Here's the dealio. So Brainiac 7, who was next in line for integration, was about to try and take the Arkhamverse into his own little fold, but he saw the escapades of a certain Batman and was, no. But he did temporarily peek in and grabbed one person. The one person that nobody would give a shit that they were missing, Edward Nygma. Anyways, kill Brainiac, gaslight this Riddler into think he's important enough, and he helps. And Chapter 5, Earth X, the finale. New member, Flashpoint Batman. Another Batman who murders people. Sorry, surprise, surprise. Gimmick, the end. This world is like turbo-colified, and it's very, very expansive. The sole hero, in quotes, that's left is Thomas Wayne's Batman. The one that's all murdery and red and uses guns. He stayed underground mostly, and he was building some sort of resistance of sorts to murder Brainiac. So, him and the Suicide Squad goals align. So he goes, fuck it, might as well. These guys would make better human shields than adversaries. And boom, that's this fucking game, Suicide Squad. The game ends, every character gets a properly resolved ending where they go back to their worlds, maybe they learn something or two, and maybe this game could actually get a sequel or not, whatever, nothing matters. Nothing matters with anything about these fucking DC games. You wanna know why? I don't know how to end this video, so I'm just gonna end it by dunking on Warner Brothers because I fucking hate them so much. Warner Brothers as a company is just the biggest joke on the goddamn planet. It's laughable. They are literally Amanda Waller. That's how evil they are. The double wombo combo of this game's failure and Multiverse's crashing and burning means we lost Monolith, the creators of Blood and Fear, and the fucking greatest video game mechanic ever, the Nemesis system in the Middle-earth games. The Wonder Woman game got fucking cancelled even though that was probably going to cook. So guess what? You guys got cool DC Universe games, we got abysmal dog shit slop or Batman games. That's it. 20 billion more Batman games because that's what they're gonna fucking focus on now. Dude, the ads for that DC Mobile Legion game, whatever it's called, Dark Legion, it's so fucking awful. It's literally just Raid Shadow Legends. You're on 1 million power, Rise of fucking Kingdom. It's so stupid. Brain rot ads, and Monolith is dead. Like, I don't think Rocksteady deserved the axe or any negative punishment from this game's failure, but holy fuck, why? I am telling you guys this right now. Ubisoft may be the most untalented and soulless game company. Blizzard may be the most dangerous game company. Hell, a person actually killed themselves from working at Blizzard. But Warner Brothers easily holds the crown as just the dumbest, fucking awful video game company on the planet. Everything they touch turns to dog shit, and it's so crazy. How do you make a co-op Suicide Squad game bad? Well, you gotta, like, them trying to wring money out of you. And Warner Brothers online service is fucking god awful because it just resets your shit whenever you make the account. You owe me 60 levels in fucking Mortal Kombat. Holy shit, that was a really long video, huh? Pretty crazy. Hope it was cool and you liked it. Sorry it took me a long time. Well, it didn't take me as long as I thought. I literally I don't know what happened. I literally just woke up and blitzed through like the entire script in like 3 days. It was weird. I wonder where that motivation went. Anyway, video's done and awesome, and I also want to end with this because I didn't get to slide this into the video, but I think it's really important. If you weaponize Kevin Conroy's death to attack Rocksteady or anybody who even likes this game, then I think you're an awful fucking subhuman. That is all. Okay, laters.